Good morning, traders. I'm not sure if I'm live. Yeah, there we go. I see a couple people popping on there. All right. Good morning. Starting a little bit later. My name is Todd Derby. I'll be your host today for StockCast. All right, there we go. So let's start over. Welcome. Good morning, traders. Welcome to StockCast. My name is Todd Derby. I'll be your host today. James will not be joining us. He's got a meeting that he has to attend to, so he was not able to hop in here and be with us. So apologize for the little hiccup, but I think we got things sorted out and we are live. So I really feel bad for S. John. S. John uploaded a bunch of news items early on, put a bunch of news items on there, and I had to restart the show to get things to make us live. So S. John, I apologize for that. I'll make sure that Johnny takes care of you in your bonus check to make sure you're good to go. All right, let's talk about the market today. The futures right now are up or down, down 425 points. Down 425 points, and SPY is down almost $6 today, 6 full points. So no surprise after Friday's 800 point day on the future market. It was the highest day for the future since like a year and a half. So since early 2020. So no surprise that we might have a potential. Hold on here. Billy Mitchell saying there's no sound. No sound. Give me a thumbs up, somebody, if you can hear my voice. Make sure you can hear my voice. All right, Randy said, all right, sounds good. I apologize. Billy Mitchell said he had no sound there. So thank you very much. So no surprise that with the Friday market being up 800 points, and it was a tricky day with the war going on, and we're still waiting for this Fed interest rate hike coming here in March, which is here tomorrow. March starts tomorrow. Not saying that we're going to announce the Fed rate tomorrow, but March is here. So not surprised that we might see a red day today with the market. I think the big news that we have to be cognizant of what's going on is Ukraine officials and Russian officials have agreed to meet in Belarus and to discuss the war, and have no idea what that means. What that means is that they're coming to the table to find a settlement. Are they coming to the table to have an FU meeting, or a mandate saying do this or else? Not sure. My concern would be trading while these meetings are going on, or having something really negative come out of the meeting and seeing the market even tank more. If something positive was come out of the meeting and you had puts or you were shorting something, you could get hurt that way. So I think my trading will be limited today due to that information. I'll be kind of waiting to see what's going on there. I may take a look at trading Tesla. Tesla's, I think, is a little more predictable, and I'll try to get an idea of what the market's going there, and I may try to trade for something small size for some points. So one of the things that I find really interesting about this whole war, and we debate it in our personal lives, and we read in the news, we watch CNN, we watch Fox News and our evening newses, and we talk about it, is corporate America is now starting to step in. Corporate America is starting to step in, and they're offering ways to help move things along. And we've all talked about and have agreed that one of the best ways to make this to end the war quicker, or to get Russia's attention or Putin's attention, is to financially hit them in the pocketbook. And so I think the news is, what can they do? And so here are three examples of corporate America. FedEx, UPS, both have said they're going to stop sending shipments and delivering to Russia. So getting stuff out and getting stuff in it's going to be a challenge for them. BP, they've been in Russia, in business with Russia, in selling oil. They are moving out of Russia, and I saw the article I saw was a $25 billion fine or tax or fee that they have to pay, but they've been there for 3 decades, and based on what's going on, they're pulling out. So that's very, very interesting. Intel, AMD, both have said they're going to not deliver chips to Russia. And as we know, with our vehicles, our computers, and the many parts of our life, that the chip business is a big business. Maybe that'll help some American businesses in America that are having trouble getting chips. I know that Ford has curtailed some F-150 truck manufacturing because they aren't able to get chips. So maybe that will help them there. But it's interesting how corporate America is stepping in and playing a role in this war and imposing sanctions themselves on Russia. The other thing for me is that people understand. I don't think people understand the financial impact that sports have on our lives, and you start to see multiple professional athletes from Russia, tennis players, hockey players, soccer players that are coming out and speaking out against the war. And so you're starting to see there's not only the world, but then you're starting to see Russians inside that are Russians that are playing outside, and the impact that's having on their lives. I know the big one is in the international soccer world, the Champions League finals was scheduled for St. Petersburg. This is worth hundreds of millions of dollars to their economy, and they've announced that they're pulling that venue, pulling that event, and they're moving it to another location. So that's a tremendous financial blow to what's going on there. So, all right. Let me take a look at the comments. Thank you for just joining us. If you don't mind hitting the like button. S. John, I'm sorry that I switched over to another broadcast and got you and all these news comments that were tagged in there. So if you're listening, I do apologize. And for some reason, I didn't have the right YouTube stream going, but we were rocking and rolling. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right, Michael, can you hear me? Good. Where's the mug? The mug. It's right here, buddy. The mug right here, Brian. It's good to be the king. Yep. I can only pull it out when James is not around. He's threatening to come through the monitor and grab it. Yes, John. You did post all these news articles, and I deleted them by mistake. The green screen shows me wearing a dress. No, that's not true. All right. Mike, I haven't seen when they've concluded the meetings. It's very possible because they're 7 hours ahead of us, so it's possible the meetings are done. But I haven't seen any news, but I haven't looked in the last 15, 20 minutes. I haven't seen any news of what come out of those meetings or what the possibility is, so I'm not sure what the status is. All right. Okay, not a whole lot in the comments. Again, I'm going to review. My watch list is small this morning. I don't have much on my list because I was worried about coming out of these meetings. I'm going to watch Tesla a little bit and probably play it small. I've had a good February. Being the last day of the month, I'm going to be smart, be safe with my any trading I do today. If I go in on anything, it'll be small. I'd like to keep my streak going of having a positive green month, and so I don't have a problem taking it easy. Actually, during this last week, I took it easy on 2 of my days. I only had a couple days where I traded for just minimally, literally. One day I did no trade, another day I did a trade. It was like up $30 and I called it a day. So I don't have a problem managing my risk that way. Meetings are over, but the status is not announced, which is probably a positive sign. Moscow refused to open the stock market, and I did see where there are several Russian stocks that are halted this morning. There are several Russian stocks that are halted, so that's another way that corporate America is taking a helping out with this invasion of Russia to Ukraine. What are my levels on Tesla? So that's a good question. I will right at the open. I'll take a look what's going on, and then I'll do some quick numbers based on the daily and looking at what closed on Friday. But I don't have those numbers right now handy. But I do at the open of the market. Looking at a break above 815. Traditionally, when I'm trading Tesla, let me share my screen here. That's not the one. When I'm trading Tesla, the opening bell will give me a read on it'll have a big push up or big push down, and then I try to make a decision what we're going with the market. Over here. Yeah, so your number of 815 is very probable. Let me look at what it closed here on Friday. It closed at 800. That's right. I remember watching it close on Friday. If they're going to keep it above 800 or let it close below, and they made it sure it closed above 800. So think for your calls a break over 815 is a reasonable expectation. But for me, I'll be looking at for the opening push for up or down, and look to make a quick scalp on a taking shares for a quick scalp of $2 to $4. Bill Mitchell's reporting that Belarus is joining the fight. I think a lot of the countries are looking to join the fight. I think they're concerned about if this doesn't work out, who's next. And so now I think it's a concern, like what's the next step here. So I'm not surprised that more aren't joining in there. I'm frustrated that we literally don't have troops on the ground ourselves, especially as a nation that we promised them if they didn't keep nuclear weapons, that we would be there to support them. And I think that we have lost some credibility as a nation, that we haven't stepped in and done our role. Good morning. Is James be monitoring SPY puts today? He will be. Yes, he will. I know he had a meeting this morning, so I don't know how long his meeting is going to take him, but he sent me a text early this morning and said, hey, I've got a meeting that I can't get out of. I need you to run the show or we're going to cancel it. And I told him I would run it. So here we are. And now we have conflicting reports that Belarus is fighting. Oh, they're fighting with Russia. All right. They're fighting Russia now. Okay. I'm not going to go long today. I'm not going to go long-winded like someone does. So I'm going to try to keep the show short. I'm not ready to get off the air yet, but if you've got a question, question or two that I can answer for you, or if I can help you with anything, I'd be glad to take a moment and answer a question. I'm just checking Small Cap World for anything that's moving right now. I see nothing that excites me. Nothing that excites me. Yes, John, you're saying AMD over over 122. You're looking at a potential run. Yeah, I think the big question is, are we getting a run on anything today based on where the market is currently and based on what's going on across the big pond? So the answer is possibly, but I think that we have to be very careful about the talks or the status of the talks now. If the talks are over, what is the status of the talks? So that's the question. Do we expect a Fed rate hike to be in the same info? about peace comes out today. That would be funny. That would be not surprising. Wouldn't be shocking at all. It'd be like we get good news, bad news in the same blow to keep us right in check, and we don't have a chance to move or react to it. So that would be not shocking at all, Edward. And since the show has started, SPY has moved about 60 cents. Yeah, so ask John, is it worth trading? Ask good question, is it worth trading with a headline-driven market? James and I talked about this Friday, and one of the things we talked about was it is hard to be in a market where you can use technical analysis and you lay out your support and your resistance lines, but you can't trust them. You can't trust them with what's going on with the feds. You can't trust them with what's going on with the world news. So literally, you have to be in a situation where, I mean, we may have mentioned this on the show before, that when you're in profit, don't be afraid of putting together a plan to take profit. Something I've been using a lot lately is a trailing stop loss. So let's say I'm in Tesla and I buy in at $800 and I'm looking at a bull run. And let's say I've got my shares and it hits 802.50. So I'm in $2.50 of profit. I might set a trailing stop loss where I may say, I'll take a stop loss at 801, which drops my profit down a little bit, but it gives a little bit of room for Tesla to breathe. And I've seen Tesla make a 10, 12, 20 point run. And by using a trailing stop loss, I've been able to maximize my profits. And if it dips down and hits 801, great. I take a small scalp and then I look to reassess the next trade if it presents itself. So I think once you're in profit, I think the message here is that when you're in profit, don't be afraid to find a way to lock some of that profit up. I use a trailing stop loss. I know other members have talked to me. They will take part of their position off the table and lock up, so that they're free rolling on the shares they have left, or they've minimized their risk. Yeah, so trailing stops don't work on options, and that's one of the things that I'm not an options guy at all, and I'm open up for options. And honestly, it's like when I go to do an options, like you can buy or sell a position or open position. You have 4 options, 4 different ways to enter, get out, in or out of an option. I'm not even fully aware of that. I've done it a couple times, but I don't do enough to be fully cognizant of what the right thing to do is. But one of the things I'm learning from when James is trading options is he's uber focused on what's going on, and like he's like watching it, and he's like, he'll be quiet, and then click, click. He's like, I'm out. I just got out. And so I know that you got to be on top of your option prices. Okay. I don't see a lot of questions. Karen's, I would be shocked if peace came out of that meeting. Yeah. Because really, if you're Russia, if you want to show peace, you just start pulling troops out. You don't start throwing around the nuclear word and raising their nuclear levels on a national level. But I would agree with you, Karen. I would be shocked if peace came out of that meeting. But you know what? All good resolutions start with a meeting somewhere along the line. So I think that's a possibility that it gets the ball rolling. If nothing more, it wins Ukraine's president in good favor with the rest of the world, that he is trying. He is trying, and man, I would not want to be in his shoes. My daughter had a meltdown last night. She lost her AirPods for her phone, to the point that she's upset. She's got a vacation coming up, and she's been saving money. I just made her put some more money in her stock account. I gave her a goal, and she just dumped a few $100s into her stock account, and then she loses her AirPods, and she's upset. And so I said, well, we could be in Ukraine and getting bombed and living in the basement, or trying to exit the country. So I think you have to put everything in perspective and give the Ukrainian president credit for trying to do what he's trying to do. Peace comes out and a 3,000 point run on the market. Woo! Mama, that would be fun, as Sean. 401ks would be rocking. And it would help a certain president be successful in the midterm elections. Okay, not seeing any more questions. And I don't have much more to share with you. I appreciate the feedback. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the thoughtfulness that you guys share. And I will see and listen to you guys tomorrow. You guys have a great day.